Okay, so in this example, we're going to graph two different situations. We have two problems, A and B, and we're going to graph vertical, horizontal lines. But look, there's a boundary, if you will. So you have to look at this compound inequality as two separate lines. So if we look at problem A, what we're going to do is we're basically going to look at this as one piece, and we're going to graph x is greater than -3, and then we're going to graph x is less than 2. If you think about it, all we're doing is we're extending the idea of one variable would be on a number line, right? And we would shade in between the -3 and the 2. But now, because we're two variable, we want all the points that have x values between this. Well, that's going to include this whole other area. It's two-dimensional instead of one-dimensional now. So the way I do these problems is I'm going to graph the vertical line at x is -3. It's a solid line. And then I'm going to graph the line at x is equal to 2. It's also a solid line because we're equal to. And I want all the values that are in between. So I would shade everything in between. So any point that's picked in between or on these lines would satisfy this statement. All the x values would be between -3 and 2. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and jump to this example. We're going to look at example B. Now we're dealing with a y equals, so we're dealing with a horizontal line. So I'm going to graph the horizontal line at -1. One thing to consider, though, is we are dealing with a not equal to. So I need to come back and make this a dashed line. And then I have the line y is equal to 3, so I'm going to go ahead and graph that. I also need to come back here and erase to make a dashed line. Okay, and the shading is going to be between -1 and 3 for my y values. So I am going to shade in between. So this is the shaded region right in here. Any point that's picked in this shaded region will have a y value that's between -1 and 3. So I cannot pick any of the points on a line. And so this is a different type of inequality, and we're dealing with inequalities that are compound inequalities. And we saw them like these on number lines, but now we're dealing with an xy coordinate plane, so now we have that two-dimensional graph.